is only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We did it. So ITC ranking is in. We just got back from Worlds. We placed #1 Death Guard player in the world for 2025, and that was our goal. So thanks for clicking on the video. We're going to be going over the list that we took to Worlds. Kind of some insights on the ITC. The ELO ranking is cool, but like the goal every single year is based off the ITC rankings on kind of where you place army-wise, faction-wise, just in the world. So if you guys are clicking on the video, you guys want to see the top Death Guard list that was at Worlds. So we're going to be getting into that. We're going to be going over why we picked it. Shout out to my boy Oscar, who was #3 in the world for Death Guard. We kind of made this list together and we ran it at WTC or the Worlds. And we want to kind of see like how it did compared to the Vectorum and Hammer and stuff like that. So appreciate you guys clicking on the video. If you guys are new to the channel, we do coaching, we do battle reports, we do picture by picture, turn by turn, all that stuff, and videos on how to get better at 40k. More of like a beer drinking kind of chill vibe at the 40k Dirtbags or the Dirtbag Nation. If you guys want to support the channel, head over to the merch store. There's a lot of cool Dirtbag stuff and also the red, white, and blue logos that you guys can purchase on t-shirts or hats or stuff like that. And also, if you guys want coaching from the #1 Dirtbag Death Guard player in the world, you guys can sign up for the Dirtbag competitive Patreon over the Patreon page or the Grandmaster tab where you get one-on-one coaching, calls once a month, or ITT or the TTS practice games. So appreciate it. Let's get in the video and we'll pull up the rankings. All right, guys, if you want to support the channel, head over to the merch store. The description below has the link. All these shirts are up for sale. These legit red, white, and blue shirts look fire at a GT. They're super comfortable, super non-shrinkage. It's just a really, really nice shirt. Spent a lot of time picking out the right shirt. All these designs are up for sale. All the stickers as well. And if you guys need some models, we got the Cypher, which is legit. We got the Tech Marine with Grey Knight bits. We have the Phobos Librarian, the Phobos Captain, the Kaldis Assassin should be in every list, and old school Codiez. We have the widgets, 6-inch, 3-inch, 1-inch, 2-inch, half-inch. We have our objective markers, which are great for sticky objectives, any marking for oath, anything like that, and all of the stickers. So hit me up on Discord, DM, that's how you get a hold of these, and the merch tab below for the shirts. Now back to the video. All right, so here's the ranking. Folger took first place. We played him at the Nova event when he was running his elves. He won the Worlds last year. Such an awesome player. Like, the dude literally plays the game like no other. So he won the ITC this year. Coenen Jennings was second. This is for North America. I apologize. So this is the USA ranking. So Folger was #1, Coenen was #2, Zach was #3, Junior was #4, and Derek Apshay, myself, was #5. Ben Jurek #6, Brian Doherty, the World Eater player, Durante #8, Nemo #9 with his crazy 250 guard list, and Mark Hurdle #10. So these are the USA rankings. We also have the global rankings. So if you just go to global, they gave at the Worlds the top 3 rankings of ITC. So if you guys were top 3 ITC, you got 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Folger, again, was still #1. Innis, awesome dude who runs the stat check, is #2, and Coenen was #3. So we had 2 USA players of top 3, and Innis was 2nd. So they based it off your top 6 rankings of GTs. So if you travel, go to big events and place really high, you get points based off of that. So 1557 compared to 1637. So we were under 100 points away from #1. That basically comes down to probably like 3 or 4 matches of higher, like 1 to 5 placings. Let's get into how they rank everything. So you can also pick on your name. So once you click on this, you click on your name, which brings you up to your name on ITC, and then you can kind of see. Let me move my picture so you can kind of see where you played. So you got LVO, World's Champion this year, Nova, Lone Star, Atlantic City, Battle 10 Alzheimer's, Maryland Open. So all of these are based off your GTs that you played. They also have RTTs in here, but you don't get a lot of points for RTTs unless it's like a ginormous RTT. But the most points you get for 5 to really 6 rounds, 6+ rounds of GTs. So like our lowest ranking, we won Maryland Open this year, but we only got 226 points. It was a five game, I think, for Maryland Open. So the more games you play, the more points you get. So Battles and Alzheimer's, we were in second, and we got 237 points. And then AC 238, 268 for Lone Star. We came in fourth. That one was huge. And then Nova Open was 9 games, so we got 266. We came in third there. And then this year at the Worlds, they were basing it off of LVO this year because they had 2 LVOs. So they were basing the highest GT for the year is the points equivalent to Worlds. So Worlds points was equal to the highest GT, which was LVO this year. So even though there was only 400 players, it literally was the best of the best at Worlds. So they wanted to have the most points for that. So that's kind of why this was so many points. We came in 47th, which was the top Death Guard. Of that, we went 6-2, and we got 268 points, which is ginormous. Like 280 to like 290 is the most you can get. So we had 282 at LVO last year when we came in 8th with Chaos Cult, but that didn't count for Death Guard because we were playing Chaos Cult. So Death Guard this year, they took 1, 2, 3, my top 4, which was ACO, Lone Star, Nova, and Worlds. So that's kind of what they do. And then for the overall ranking, they take your top 6. So if you're interested, that's kind of how they do the rankings on ITC as a whole. And then you can check your faction. So if you want to click on like Chaos Space Marines, for us, it was Death Guard. We focused all 2025 to try and get best Death Guard play in the world like we did for Grey Knights 3 years ago. And then last year we were Chaos Space Marine player #1 in the world. And this year we're like, all right, let's just do one more with the other army that we play, which is Death Guard. So those are the 3 best armies that I play is Grey Knights, Chaos, and then Death Guard. Next year, might take a step back, focus more on YouTube stuff, content, growing the channel, growing the Dirtbag Nation. So we're not going to be like focusing strictly on one faction. We're going to be playing a ton of factions, getting into Space Marines like our boy Keeble. But look at this. So this is our Death Guard ranking for ITC this year. This is global. We got it. #1, Derek Apshay, 1,037 points, which is a huge spread with Nathan. Before Worlds, I was only 3 points ahead of Nathan, but Nathan wasn't at Worlds this year. And then Oscar was right behind us at 960. So basically one of them would have had to place higher than me, but they would have to get enough points to for like their lowest rank, their lowest 4th GT would have had to get enough points above what they had to try and take the #1 spot. So Worlds definitely helped out this year for Death Guard. We had over 1,037 points. So that was awesome. So fucking did it, guys. Fucking did it. So much went into this year. They had the super highs, super lows, and like right at the end of the season, a lot of people kind of jumped off the ship. But me and Oscar were still pushing with the Death Guard, trying to finish it off this year. So that was nuts. Don Houston, Aiden. So these 2 guys, really huge on the podcast of the Death Guard podcast. So still trying to get the collab going, but they're like completely on the other side of the world. And yeah, so if you guys are interested, that's how you go into your specific factions. So, and then you can kind of click on like North America, United, like specific globally, or depending on what country you guys are in, you can do that as well. So yeah, that's it. So let's get into the list, because if you guys haven't seen it already, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be talking about it. I think Trevi hit me up like right after that, like, yo, congrats on 6-2 with Death Guard. Because Death Guard is not in a good matchup right now with the fucking Adeptus Mechanicus, Eldari, Deathwatch, Drakari, like Sisters. All of these are just the best armies in the game right now. So bringing Death Guard to Worlds was not the best play. If it was, you probably would have seen some of these top players be playing Death Guard. But when I go into this, we'll just search for Death Guard. So Deathwatch, but Death Guard 47. The next one was 80 for Remy from France. Colin, United States, was Death Guard number 98. Hans, Death Guard 100. And then 148 149. Oscar was 150. It's based off brackets, tiers. So however you do the first 4 games, you get into different brackets. So for us, we were in the 3-1 bracket because we lost our first match, which I'll go over that in the battle report. If you guys are interested, I go games 1 through 8 and I talk about each game. So that's going to be coming up soon. That's all on patreon.com first. So if you guys are Patreons, all these videos go ahead of time on patreon.com. So if you want early access, head over to Patreon to support us. But you get in 3-1 brackets. So me and Remy and Colin and Hans were all in the 3-1 bracket. So that means there was 1, 2, 3, 4 Death Guard in the 3-1 bracket. So that means you had 3 wins and 1 loss going into game 5. So they split you up after game 4. They put the champions, top 16 in the championship bracket, then bracket 2, then bracket 3, then and so on. So I think the 3-1 bracket was the bracket 2. And then they all play each other. They play randomly, so it's everybody from that bracket all plays each other to try and figure out who's going to win. Remy loses his first 2 games. We lost our first game of this bracket, so it's 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. It was 2 games every day, 4 hours a game, no clock, crazy. And then we went down here, so lost 3, lost his last one, lost that one, lost that one. But let's click on us, and then we'll go into the list. Can't wait to talk about these games. Like, they were so fun. Like, if you guys have a chance to go to Worlds, you guys play the best people in the world. And usually when you're at that top tier, top level, it's more of like a nonchalant, you both know how to play. You both don't have to argue or like measure. Like, it's such a chill game that you will have super fun playing it. And that's what I had every single game. I don't think there was one game that I like had a shitty opponent. Every single opponent was super fun, super chill, super relaxed. So every game I'm going to be talking about this year is going to be super fun to talk about. So that's coming up probably the next day or 2. But if you guys are watching this, it's going to be Patreon and then YouTube, and then all these games to be on patreon.com. So we got Taliban Summoners. What the fuck? Did anybody else run Taliban that was top 8? That's a good question. France, he had Virulent Vectorum. Colin had Virulent Vectorum. Hans had Morty's Hammer. Could have guessed. This one had Tallyman Summoners. This one was Desha, TJ. Yeah, no, so Virulent Vectorum, Morty's Hammer, and then me and Oscar, like fucking madmen, running Taliban Summoners. So if you guys are excited for this as much as I am, people thought we were crazy. Disgustingly Resilient Podcast went over the list and they were just laughing. They're like, yeah, this list is terrible. I don't know what he's thinking with this. I would have played it differently. All that. And I want to get on their stream and just like explain why we do what we do. Because a lot of them are on WTC terrain, right? There's completely different terrain. We don't play that over in the United States. United States is wide open. Like you have no hiding at all. That's kind of why I switched from Virulent Vectorum with Morty. I had to take Morty out of the list because he couldn't hide on Games Workshop terrain. So we had to take him out and switch it up. And from what I learned in the last GT at LVO, I lost 2 games because I couldn't kill Trash on turn 1. So we switched up our mindset. I'm like, all right, what can I bring that doesn't have to rely on contagion and also can threaten the board on turn 2, essentially, to still have that 6-inch deep strike. And all of that pointed at the Taliban Summoners. The only 2 detachments that we have that are sticky are Taliban and Virulent Vectorum. Virulent Vectorum is still good. It's just everybody knows it. Like the key to Death Guard is playing something that not a lot of people have reps into. Because if somebody has a rep into Virulent Vectorum every single weekend because they were really popular, they're going to know what you do. There's no tricks. There's no hiding. It's just like, hey, block out Death Shroud, 6-inch deep strike. That's it. That's the only gotcha that people have to look out for. With this, they have to be like, oh shit, I can't block contagion because he doesn't need contagion to come down outside 6 and then charge. Some of the strats are really good as well, like no fallback, shoot in combat, stuff like that. So it really gets around reactive moves and everything like that. So why we chose this list was all of those combined, and because of the layouts, you can't, if people stay back far enough, you can't get them into contagion. So if I just like wait one turn and then launch out on turn 2 and then drop my Lord of Virulence and then fucking all of the demons in their front line, they can't really do anything about it. So that's what we're going to be going over today. And it kind of go back what I said, you have to kill turn 1 screens. So let's say they go first, they're going to throw up their screens, try and block, whatever. You need to have enough on the table and flamers and shit to kill chaff. So that way on turn 2, you have a big turn 2 deep strike turn. If they're pushing forward on you and you don't clear them on turn 1, their turn 2, they're just either going to fall back, desperate escape, or just throw more at you into your deployment zone, and now your entire board is screened out. And then you don't have a good game. You're probably going to lose, and your Death Shroud are going to stay off the table for another turn. So that's why we brought the fucking Plague Bus. Oh god, the Plague Bus was so good. That was freaking Oscar's call. So Oscar, thank you for that. So what we brought was Lord of Contagion. He brings the Fell Harvester, which is actually an extra 2 attacks. The extra 2 attacks, guys, you probably miss 1 to 2 attacks, usually on a normal Lord of Contagion. So with the extra 2 attacks, you're now going to hit 5 to 7 times on average with the Lord of Contagion, with sustain and lethal. Because going with the unit of Death Shroud, so they're going to be going together, and they're going to be your hard-hitting unit. There's a strat in this detachment that gets full rerolls to hit if they're in a unit, if they're engaged with a combat with a demon unit. So you have your big Rodigus, you have Nurglings, you have a Beast, you can have the Plague Bearers. So basically when they come down, you always want like a little Nurgling unit or a 6-man Nurgle unit to come down, charge the same target, or Nurglings charge in, pile into that target, and then, you know, your other guys move in, and then just 1 CP, full rerolls to hit. So you're just rolling all the dice, fishing for 6s, essentially. So you're going to roll all the dice, hitting on 2s, reroll everything that's not a 6, right? Because that's the law of averages. And then if you get any 6s more, you're just going to get more sustain and lethal. So you literally will probably one-shot almost anything in the game with the Lord of Contagion squad. Like, it will fucking one-shot a night. And that's what I really liked about this, is you have that hard-hitting power from the best unit that we have in the Codex with the Lord of Contagion. It still gets back up on a 2+. He actually didn't, I think, 2 games, which sucked. But and he has grenades. So you got the extra grenade option in this list as well. So Lord of Valence, this was like the MVP guy in the list. He comes down with a Death Shroud unit, so you can still get a unit in Contagion. So that way he can come down outside 6, and then you can bring in all your other demons within 12 of him, outside 6 of your opponent. But also, if you're on, like, let's say turn 3 or something, you can come down. If they're within 7 inches of a demon unit, the extension of the Contagion is another 3. So let's say he comes down 6. Now another unit is within 9 of him. So that way they're now in Contagion. So then your Death Shroud unit can come down. So like you're kind of stacking on layers of just Contagion to get more units all over the table. So it's very, very hard to hide the 6-inch deep strike as well as the Contagion in this detachment. So it's very tricky to block out. Lord of Valence, sometimes you might even come outside 9 inches because you couldn't get them in Contagion. So you come outside 9 inches and then you drop your big Rodigus or your demons outside 6 because you don't need Contagion, and then they charge in Steel Primary and do whatever they have to do. So that was why we love this dude with the Beckoning Blight enhancement. That's the 12-inch aura. And he's paired with the Death Shroud. So if you need to come down 6, bring in your demons to go that way, and then Death Shroud go this way, they can still hit pretty hard going into combat. Plus, the Flamers, full rerolls to wound, actually kills a lot of single wound infantry. And with the AP1, if you take that detachment or that Contagion, -1 to the armor save, full rerolls to wound actually kills a lot of stuff. Anything with a 3 wound model, you're probably just going to nuke the squad. Full rerolls to hit, anti-infantry 4+, and then he's anti-infantry 2+. You melt a lot. It's really good for Overwatch too. So sometimes you come down rapid with them and then you Overwatch. So you can come down rapid, Overwatch for 1 CP, and then murder them with a full rerolls to wound. So that, I used him very, very aggressively in almost every single game. So he was probably the MVP. Also, if you guys look at the Beckoning and Blight, I don't know, I don't think I can pull it up here, but you can rapid within 6 with the demons. So some tricks with this is he comes down in his turn, and then let's say you keep like a unit of demons or Rodicus or Plague Bearers off the table because you don't need them that turn. They're, let's say, charging at you, like they're running at you, trying to get the charge off. You could just rapid right in front of your Lord of Contagion squad with Plague Bearers or Nurglings or even Rodicus so that way you can countercharge. You can rapid outside 6 of them within 12 of you, and then they can either block their charge just straight up fucking here. So let's say they're 7 inches away or 8 inches away. They're trying to make a 7-inch charge. Well, now you come outside 6 of them with a whole unit of Nurglings. They have to go into the Nurglings, and then before they get to your Death Shroud, then you can countercharge with your Death Shroud. So it's a lot of trickery with that enhancement, being able to rapid outside 6 of them. Like that was really cheeky. Sometimes you can rapid on an objective with your Plague Bearers. So I did that a couple times where I rapided on an objective when they're even on the other side of the objective and they're trying to steal it from me. I just rapid outside 6 of them on the same objective and then steal the objective for primary. So they're not going to want to charge you because then you counter with your Death Shroud or whatever. So that plays really well into the primary game and blocking out charges and stuff like that. So that was such a cool thing to realize and test going into this. So that's why he, I think, is the MVP, and he makes this list work so well, right? So you could put it on a Lord of Contagion, but I feel like the Lord of Virulence having the Flamers helped out so much, and just being like the anti-infantry trash killing was very good in this list. You could have another Lord of Contagion to do it. That's an extra 20 points you have to find. But yeah, like you could try it with both, honestly. But having one Lord of Contagion, not having to worry about both Lord of Contagions dying in the same turn and only bringing back one was cool. Didn't have to worry about that. Then here's the Plague Bust. So we got 2 Malignant Plague Casters. These guys are fucking insane. So they're in the Rhino. They're solo every single game. You have a unit of Plague Marines in this list, but they're there just to steal primary or just move up, charge, and try and, again, steal primary. Like that's their whole goal. Maybe throw a grenade here and there. But these guys shooting out of the Rhino, D6 plus 3 shots, 6-2, D3, murders a ton of stuff in this game. Any 2 wound models, sometimes 3 wound models, you're just throwing them into that, and it combines really well with the one stratagem where if a Nurgle or a demon unit's in combat, you can spend 1 CP and then you can shoot into combat. If they 5+, they take a mortal wound if you roll 5+, so sometimes you don't roll that high. But these guys are just nuts at killing anything toughness, technically 7 or below, because you go down to T6. So any toughness 7 or below, they will murder off the table, even vehicles. So you're going to go after vehicles if you really want something dead. You're going to move out the Plague Bus, get them out, try and have like line of sight blocking so that way you only see what your target is. And if they're going to try and kill your Plague Casters, they have to go all the way around to have that exact line to try and shoot your Plague Casters. I explain this in a lot of the battle report videos, but I'll explain that in the videos coming forward. But when they move up 12, or they move up to a wall, get out on the other side of the wall, the Rhino can barely see the unit. Rhino shoots whatever it shoots at, shoots the unit, picks that unit as the full reroll target, and then the guys that got out, which are the Plague Casters, they then get full rerolls to wound with their D6 plus 3, 6-2, D3 Flamers, wounding on 5s most of the time against vehicles, but 5s with a reroll, you're probably going to wound 4 to 6 times with the rerolls and just murder them. So we did it like 10 wounds or 12 wounds to a knight. We killed a stalker with 12 wounds with one of them. It was nuts. Yeah, so the Plague Bus is no joke still. Really in any detachment, but this attachment even better because now they can shoot into combat if a demon's still in combat. So very, very good combo. So thanks, Oscar, for that recognition right there. Rodicus. So Rodicus is the option of him or a Great Unclean One, and I think the Rodicus was way better just because the -2 speed helped out a couple times, and the -1 OC, nobody on the point had OPSEC. So him being there was the hard-hitting guy that can charge in and like hopefully do a ton of damage to a tank, pick out a character in combat so that way you can like solo or what the hell is it? Precision them. So he's a character, so you can 1 CP precision out their character. He's got a 2 damage sweep, which is huge. So if he gets stuck in combat with a bunch of units, he just picks the unit he's in combat with, do a huge sweep, hitting on 2s, most of the time wounding on 2s. AP1, AP2 if you pick the contagion, and then just fucking 2 damage across the board. So super good. He's got a really good flamer, 2d6, 8-2-1 dev, like no joke. So you notice, guys, flamer, 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 flamer. That was the big difference we saw with this list compared to the Virulent Victorum and stuff like that. I also did bring the where is it? Blow drone with the flamer, which didn't really come up. I think I'll switch them to the melee one, the flesh mower. But all the flamers to clear trash turn 1. That's why we brought all this. And these guys are in the rhino, so that way the rhino can move up, murder the trash, whatever's in our way, and then turn 2 they have to bring out more trash to try and scream, but they won't be able to if we have flamers all over the place. So that was our characters, guys. Let's go into the bladder line. We have 1 Plague Marine unit. I chose just randomly. We have the Icon to spare because if they're in combat with a demon unit and they have to do a leadership test, -1 leadership because of the aura. So it stacks really well with that stratagem. So let's say they move up, they charge, a Nurgling unit charges something, or Plague Bearers, whatever. They're both in the same unit. So that one unit, whoever falls back from the Nurglings, they have to do a leadership test. So if you have that leadership aura, they're -1. So if they're a 6, they have to roll 7. If they're a 7, they have to roll 8. If they're an 8, they have to roll 9 like Nurglings. So that aura helps out so much in this detachment. So if I had 2 units of Plague Marines, I would have 2 of them. But Power Fist, normal. Power Fist, Melt-A-Gun, Plague Spear just for more flamers, and then just the heavy Plague Weapon. So I don't use them for the rerolls to hit. I use the Death Shroud for that. So I don't need these guys to have super high heavy melee weapons. They're mainly there for secondaries, stealing primary, and having the leadership aura. Then we have 2 units of Plague Bearers. There are sticky units. So we have 1 always on the table on our home field objective. Turn 1, they make it sticky, and then usually they block out the back board edge. Usually they don't get shot at ever. And then by turn 3 or 4, once all the reserves are in, they're just running forward to try and do something later in the game. But they're just camping the backfield, and then I have 1 of them in Deep Strike every single game where they can come down, outside 6, charge, block charges, block primary, steal primary, rapid ingress. They're like the utility piece that has 2 OPSEC with a +1 to charge. So they need a 5 on the charge coming out of reserves. So that was super clutch as well. Then we have the Rhino, who is doing the Plague Bus. I think the Combi Bolter, honestly, did 1 mortal wound the entire week. So the Combi, or a Combi weapon, is out. And I'll do 2 Combi Bolters. So 8 shots compared to 2 shots. And hitting on 4s, dev on 4s, but honestly, guys, I think I've only dev'd 1 to 2 mortals the entire weekend. It was so fucking bad. So Combi Bolter, way to go. 2 of those with the Havoc Launcher. And then we have the Beast Nurgle. A lot of the games he just died in 1 turn. Like almost every single game he just died in 1 turn. There was a couple games, like I think 2 or 3 games he sat on a point the entire time and just sat there, didn't move. The last game he sat on the point and just got me primary most of the time. So he does come in clutch. Against the Drakari player, he scouted forward. Drakari threw up 3 bikes, threw 1 melt into his face, and killed him. So some games it's just like that. But he's definitely good to have in the list. Having multiple of them, he doesn't kill in combat. He dies usually in combat. And then he gets shot off the table. So having multiple of these guys is cool. A lot of the times people ask, well, why don't you have 3 or 4 of them? Because they don't really do anything. Like they just literally camp the objective. And then that's it. I need stuff to go out and pressure and tie up stuff and kill stuff. So once they peek their head out and get shot by a random last cannon on a 5-up, they just die. Like if I don't roll 5, D6 plus 1, they just die. So Beast Nurgle is there because we had 65 points. Spawn is one of the best units we have in the game. Scout 6, move 8. Really hard to kill. 4-up save in cover. They're gonna have the 3-up save, 5-up feel no pain, 4 wounds, and they're really hard to go into with melee because with the -1 to hit aura and the melee armies, they usually don't die. Like they can get charged by a whole 5-man Plague Marine unit they'll probably take mortal wounds back and they just don't die. So they're so good at camping objectives early. They're really good at getting tempting target. So I really like them to, if you go first, scout 6 towards the middle of the 2 right objectives. So that way, if you get tempting target turn 1, they can run up to the far right objective and steal it or get it for 5 points easy. Like an easy 5 points, they're my tempting target turn 1 unit. If you go second, you could just scout them more in the safety into the ruin, or you can scout them back into the ruin, and hopefully you don't get tempting target. But they are my turn 1 tempting target action monkeys. Plus, they're really good at giving contagion to the Beast of Nurgle or Nurglings turn 1. So if the Nurglings are on the line every single game, like we did, the 6-man, they can scout forward, put the Nurglings within 7, and now they all have the aura. So really good at comboing the 7-inch aura for them. And if a Nurgling survives on your turn 2, the Beast Nurgle can move up 10 inches and now have a 9-inch aura on turn 2. So the spawn is giving you a 8 plus 9, 17 inches plus a d6 aura to bring in your Lord of Virulence, Death Shroud, and all the other demons. So that combo, guys, is why we do the spawn still in this attachment and the Beast Nurgle and the Nurgling. So super, super good to have the spawn in your list as well. 2 Death Shroud units, pretty standard. One with the Lord of Contagion, one with the Virulence. Blow drone spitters. I think I said I'm gonna bring the flesh mower with this instead of the spitters. Flesh mower, super better at killing like tanks or infantry. He just doesn't have that range mobility, but like moving up 10 and then charging, like every time the flamer got a chance to shoot, he didn't really do too much. Like sometimes I shot Nurglings and like that's about it. I didn't really want to present him to get shot back. So that was a thing that I might change, like bringing that or Typhus. But you have to think about reserves at that point. So what else can I bring in the maybe Mythic Blightholder? I might try that instead because that actually could help out with killing vehicles, getting some Melta and crack shots. So instead of this guy, maybe bring the Blightholder. That would probably be a good test. Or 100 points. Like anything really for 100 points. What else can you bring? Like there was 2 Plague Marine units that was originally, but we had 5 extra points. So what else can we bring for 100 points that can help us with turn 1 stuff? So that is kind of up in the air right now. But these guys, great. Lord of Virulence having that in the list as well. Get the full rolls to hit. Super clutch. My phone. And then we have. Then we're finishing it off with the Nurglings. 1 6-man, which was Oscar was like, this was literally the best unit in the entire game with this detachment. So 1 CP, you can bring a Nurgling unit back. So why not have a 6-man that can come back instead of a 3-man? Most of the time, I use them super aggressively. So you literally start them on the board, like deployment line every single game. So that way, if you get first, you just move up, launch them forward, and just try and screen out, block out. Having -1 to hit in melee, most of the time they don't get killed. And then if you have the aura, and then you have, like I said, the spawn, stay within 7 and then charge in, they're basically -1 and then -1 again, max to 1. So if they have +1 to hit and you -2, they're still -1. Stuff like that. But the 7-man having all of these attacks and all these wounds, it's really hard to chew through. Like they have to put a lot into them to try and kill them. And if they do kill them, you could spend 1 CP, bring them back on your turn 2, then come down to Lord of Virulence, deep strike outside 12 within 6, and then they make a 6-inch charge and just do it again. So killed 6, here's 6 more. And then you have the 3-man. I had the 3-man up in reserves every single game. They're really good at just coming down and screening out more for their rapid ingress or their deep striking. And if you need them to come down and then charge with the Death Shroud, they're really good at just a cheap 1 CP full rolls to hit strat unit. So having the -1 against vehicles now is pretty cool. But yeah, they're just so good in this detachment. If I could bring 2 6-mans, I would. A lot of the times, if you know how to beat this, is you just kill all but like 1 to 2 of them, and then you have to do a battle shock test. So most of the time I failed, and then I just couldn't bring them back because they were battle shocked. Or you just remove them. Let's say they had like 6 attacks going into him, I would take my normal save, not take a save, and then just remove him off the table, so that way I didn't have to do a battle shock test, because sometimes you roll, like, let's say 4 or 5 5s, and then one of them lives, and you're like, fuck, now I have to do a battle shock test. Well, you can choose to do the normal save or the invuln save. So if you choose the normal save, they just die. So if you're like, all right, I have 1 left, he shoots like a heavy bolter into me, I'm like, I'm just gonna take my normal save, take him off the table, and then 1 CP, bring him back, because he wasn't battle shocked when he died. So you spend 1 CP, and then now they come back. So that's a really good strategy, is like if you're down to 1 or 2 guys and your turn 1, you charged in, they're about to charge or kill you, don't roll the 5 up invulns. Just literally, all right, they're dead. And then just take them off the table, and then boom, go. So that's one way to do that. And like I said, the 4-man Nurglings, they usually are the ones that I spent the CP on, because this one was either battle shocked or I rolled too many 5s or whatever it may be. So then I had to use it on this one. So I was more aggressive with this unit going in to just kind of like tie down some people, and then they would have to kill, obviously all 3 of them, and then you spend 1 CP and bring these 3 back and just do it again. So you had 2 chances to do it in case this one got battle shocked. And then we had 1 unit of Poxwalkers, no sticky. They're just there to do actions and turn 1, try and get on the either the center objective or the top left one. So that was their whole goal, was to like start kind of in the center and be the turn 1 screens or the turn 1 secondaries or area denial or something like that. So that's really all why they were in the list. If I could bring like if Nurglings could go through walls, I would bring another unit of Nurglings, or if they had OC, I would bring another unit of Nurglings, but 1 OC Poxwalkers are doing the job, and that's it. So that's the list, guys. It was super, super fun to play all 8 games with this detachment, and the whole, like I said, world experience was just fun all around. One of the dirtbags, a couple of dirtbags are actually there. I got to talk to them, but just asking them like, hey, how'd your weekend go? They're like, dude, it was literally the best experience I've ever had. Like, the amount of players and the amount of knowledge that they learned throughout the week was incredible. And that's what I told you guys last year, and then this year it was just even better. So it keeps getting bigger and bigger. Games Workshop's doing great. The support that they're trying to give is just unbelievable. So I really like where the state of the game is at. I really think it is bringing the competitive and the friendliness to that top level status. So a lot of the tryhards, normal GTs that you go to, that is not the norm. You might get one asshole every now and then, but if you're going to this world event from all over the world, all different countries, they are just super friendly and super nice. Sometimes you get a bad bunch a bad seed in the bunch, but usually Italy. Like, there's a lot of shit going on with Italy right now. But yeah, but all in all, guys, I really appreciate it. Thanks for clicking on the video. Let me know what you guys think about the Taliban list. There's a couple different variations out there, but this one is mine, and it worked really well. I'm going to be doing a lot of the battle reports coming up this week into the weekend. So if you guys are Patreons, head over there so you can support the channel and get to watch these ahead of time before they hit YouTube. And if you guys are Patreons, make sure you guys are messaging me, whether you're competitive or Grandmaster, so that way you get full access to myself or the Dirtbag coaches to go over lists, questions. It's always good to have that coach that is in that scene, that is very good at the competitive scene and can answer any questions. No dumb questions ever, but having that coach in your corner at any time is what the Dirtbag Nation is all about. So if you guys want that for you, make sure you're getting the most out of it by messaging me one-on-one on Discord so we can go over some ideas. Any lists, any feedback, anything you guys need, that's why I'm here. That's kind of what we're trying to grow in 2026, is getting the Patreons growth even more, which was huge in 2025. So thank you guys so much for the support, and also growing the YouTube community as well, growing that Dirtbag Nation in 2026. Thanks to Keevil, thanks to all the Dirtbags, thanks for all the Cuddle Buddies, all those guys helping me out, and the Dumpster Fire, all those guys helping me push to get where we are now, is just thanks to you guys. So guys, thank you so much. Can't say it enough. This year was so fun. Death Guard finally done, finally hit it. I can keep that banner up on my fucking wall now by hitting the #1 Death Guard play in the world. I don't have to take it down and try again in 2026. So guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Anybody who wants to share this with any of the Death Guard buddies, please do. Like, subscribe, do all the YouTube shit. And guys, appreciate it. Good luck. And we'll see you in the battle reports for Worlds coming up soon.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are interested in joining the Dirtbag Nation over at patreon.com, you get a bunch of perks. What we did in 2024 was we really expanded. I had traveled a ton and I played my ass off in 40k. Right now we're ranked #1 best player in the United States on ITC rankings. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world this year in 2024. 2 years ago, we got ranked #1 Grey Knight player in the world, and this year we're probably going to go into Death Guard, hopefully when the new Codex comes out, or Emperor's Children. But you guys, if you guys want that head coach or that coach always in your corner, just to ask questions, bounce ideas off, that's what the competitive Dirtbag and the Dirtbag Nation is all about. If you guys want to support the channel, you head over to patreon.com. You can join the Just a Car tab, which is $5 a month. You guys get access to the Discord Patreon tab. You have to be a patron to get into that Discord, and also I'm always there. All the other coaches are there. Basically, it's just such a good community over on Discord that you guys get specific access to it that only Patreons can get. If you guys want to bump that up, the competitive Dirtbag tier, you guys get to message me or another Grandmaster or another Dirtbag coach over the Dirtbag Nation to add unlimited questions, list ideas, list reviews, and bounce ideas off of. That's what having a coach in your corner is all about. If you guys want to bump up to the Grandmaster tier, that tier you get every perk under the sun. So basically you get access to Discord, you get one-on-one coaching, you get a call once a month if you guys would like to go over any RTTs coming up, any GTs coming up, any list reviews live over Discord chat, and also a special perk that Grandmasters get if you guys want any video suggestions like we do all the time with these table setup that we just upgraded thanks to the Patreons. You guys get suggestions or battle reports you want to see specifically played live by a coach or myself on the next battle report, or a live battle report coming up on the Patreon. So you guys get obviously first access to all the videos. We post them first on patreon.com, but there's just a ton of benefits to having a professional coach that plays this game all the time at the very, very high competitive level in your corner at all times. And that's really what the Dirtbag Nation is all about, getting you guys better at 40K, the basics, and being good in your community. So if you guys want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you guys in 2024, 2025. I am super stoked for, super excited for. We really want to get a bigger studio going. That is going to be my focus in 2025, is really growing the community on YouTube and Patreon specifically. So thank you so much for 2024, all my Patreons. If you guys are interested in joining and want that coach in your corner, head over to patreon.com and support the channel. Appreciate it.